Hello and welcome back to another edition of Check It Out. Okay, friends, it is 6 weeks that I have been on crutches. 6 weeks ago today that I had surgery. This is for a torn labrum, torn cartilage. We did a microfracture. If you want to know more details about it, check out my other videos. This is video number 21, documenting this series on having my hip surgery. And you know, I say that, friends, documenting my experience, and you're hearing this a lot, I know, if you have watched my other videos, but I want to make it clear that this is not medical advice. I'm not in the medical field. You can kind of listen to what I'm saying and to get sort of a big picture of what you might be in for if you have a surgery like this coming up. Also, it sounds like mine is more in-depth than most. My surgeon told me going into the surgery that there's a 95% chance I would not need a microfracture. However, I did need the microfracture, and that meant that I had a greater increased timeline on those crutches. And it sounds like it's a pretty significant addition to the timeline on those crutches. So keep that in mind, and you know, maybe listen to this and talk to your surgeon and kind of ask him what are the chances of the microfracture, and you know, given your personal story on it. But anyway, friends, just keep in mind, no medical advice, just documenting my experience. And I'm crossing my legs right now. One of the viewers has been following along for a bit, was saying how nice it is I can cross my legs because they just had the surgery done a week ago or so. And for the first couple weeks, you kind of have to do everything like this. And even your legs are kind of tied together and all this good stuff together so that you're not doing any twisting or turning. And that person's probably watching it right now going, oh, I wish I could do that because it feels so good. And cross my legs. So it's my left leg that's sore, so that hurts a little bit to pick it up there. But man, it feels so nice to have a little bit more mobility in those legs and to see the slow progress towards recovery. I'll take it. I don't care if it's slow. I just want to be up and walking sometime in the near future. And talking about future, let's talk about the timeline that my surgeon gave me today. So I'm officially at 6 weeks since surgery date. I have been very good about doing 20 pounds or less on my crutches as I was instructed. And today I got the green light that I am going to be on crutches for 2 more weeks-ish, but I can start adding on a little bit more weight to that leg, just a little bit at a time, each day, adding maybe just a tiny little bit more weight to that leg, see how it feels. And if it hurts, then kind of back off. Or if I'm really sore the next day, kind of back off and don't put as much weight on that leg. And basically, it's kind of a play it by ear is what he was saying. And just the number one thing is always be on the side of caution as far as putting too much weight down. And, you know, make sure I'm not trying to do something silly like walk without the crutches. Definitely have to have the crutches still. But it's much easier, you know, like getting around today was a whole lot easier. Putting just a little bit more weight down really made a difference for me as far as how my body felt and how my hands felt and that kind of stuff. So I do want to be really cautious that I'm not putting too much weight down. But boy, it really, really felt nice to not have that full weight bearing down on my palm of my hands is really where I am getting sore and feeling it. So talking more about timelines, my surgeon was saying that basically I'm going to have 2 weeks weaning off crutches. And then he said, plan on kind of limping around after that, and that I would probably be limping for maybe a week, maybe even 2 weeks past that, maybe even more than that. Just kind of depends on how things go. And he also said that, you know, a lot of that has to do with how I have been doing and how I continue to do with that physical therapy. So I need to really make sure that I am being careful and doing those exercises just how I'm supposed to do them. I was down to 1 day a week for physical therapy as long as I was doing them really doing them at home. But my surgeon said, you know, that he advised that I go back to 2 days a week. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I really have been following the rules, and I probably should take his advice on that. But at the same time, man, we both work, my wife and I, we've got 3 little kids. It's so hard to fit all this stuff in, but I probably will end up taking his advice, go ahead and going back to 2 days a week of physical therapy. But again, I am making sure that I'm doing my exercises exactly how they're supposed to be done at home. And he said that that should mean that I'm going to have less time getting off the crutches now that we're weaning off of them. And he's saying that that should mean that I'd have less time limping as far as when I get off the crutches. So I go back to see the surgeon again in another 6 weeks, and he was saying that at that point I should be able to walk in the office, no limp at all, and hopefully not in any pain at all or anything like that. All right, friends, I think that's all I have for you today. But for those of you who just had your surgery, I'm going to do it one more time for you. Oh, to cross my legs, man. I'm a leg crosser too. Sitting like this for weeks on end was so annoying for me. It's so uncomfortable for me. I always have my legs crossed. So, all right, I just teased you guys with that one a little bit. But a few of my viewers out there had surgery recently, and they put comments that it's going really well. So I'm so happy for you guys and gals out there. I know this is not a fun one. You know, if it was like our arms that were hurt, you know, you can do without your arm, even if it's your dominant arm. You know, it can't be this bad. But boy, the crutches, one leg, if you have kids or anything like that, just trying to get around, trying to make food and bring a plate of food to a table, it's like next to impossible to do without help, or at least that's what I found. But in fact, the other day, my wife was joking because she was like, hey, why are you going through so much Tupperware? So one of the ways that I was getting my food from like the microwave or the oven over to the table, which is only like, it's about 20 feet in our house. And basically I was getting the food out of the microwave, putting it into Tupperware, putting the Tupperware into my backpack, crutching over to the table, taking the Tupperware out of the backpack, taking the food out of the Tupperware and putting it on a plate. So if you're not laughing, I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. All right, guys. Hey, we'll see you on the next video. And do me a favor, hit subscribe. And if this is helping you out at all, please hit like for me. That will let me know I should be making more of these videos. If not, I know there's a few people that are definitely enjoying these. But, you know, if not, I might make them a little bit less frequently. And if this is helping you out a lot and you want me to continue making them every 2 or 3 days, hit like, maybe leave a comment like, hey, please keep making them, or maybe once a week is enough. I'm listening and reading your advice in the comments, so I will continue to do that. All right, guys, we will see you next time. Adios.